Previously on Quality Policing Extra.
Body cameras, the ultimate transparency and protection against police encounters that go bad.
Body cams have been held to be the most important solution to police transparency in America. And after the summer of 2014, after a series of controversial police shootings,
Akai Gurley,
James Boyd,
Romaine Brisbane,
Tamir Rice,
Dylan Taylor,
Samantha
transparency
Ramsey
was really what America needed. To many, body cameras meant that now we could see what the cop saw. We could see the scene, and when the cop lied, the video would show it. President Obama moved swiftly to get cameras on as many officers as possible.
I'm going to be proposing some new community policing initiatives, including up to 50,000 additional body-worn cameras for law enforcement agencies.
And then, no reduction in officer-involved shootings, no reduction in controversial incidents. Body-worn cameras do provide transparency. What is transparent, though, is the question. We absolutely get to see more of when cops do bad things. Cameras do protect good people on both sides of the lens. People simply presumed that it was the cops who weren't good. But video is showing that, in fact, transparency cuts both ways. Almost all prosecutors are using body-worn video to prosecute civilians, and almost none of them are using them for what we thought body cameras were there for. If you think that that means body cameras aren't working, well, you're wrong. The truth is, body cameras are working just fine. They're just working differently from the way people expected that they would. That's a really important disconnect, because if you're concerned about how you're policed, and who isn't, you really got to know this stuff. Transparency cuts both ways, and the transparent fact body cameras have shown is that people, civilians, act like asses in front of them and while confronting cops, and the video catches a lot of it. Cops are not keeping this a secret. Here's Commander Eric Lowe of the Lexington, Kentucky Police Department in 2016.
The biggest thing we think we're going to get out of body cameras is establishing transparency with the community to show them that we have confidence that our officers are doing the right thing every day.
If you're a defense attorney, you get this. You're probably more worried about how and when videos are made.
The big problem, of course, is that the police control the button.
That's an important point from Stephen Wasserman. If anyone other than cops gets to see this from the front row, it would be legal aid.
I'm Stephen Wasserman. I'm with the criminal practice at the Legal Aid Society and in the Special Litigation Unit.
From the defense table, it's less about whether cameras are being used to go after misbehaving cops. Prosecutors who are using body-worn camera video use it to decide whether to prosecute and in preparing the charges that they'll bring. If you're imagining a courtroom with a jury watching, that's not it. What the prosecutors mainly use the video for is to get a plea deal faster. There's evidence that video reduces time from arrest to plea. But to Wasserman, this is nothing new.
We've lived with video for many years. I mean, there's many video cameras that capture incidents and crimes, and it certainly has helped in many instances to resolve matters that otherwise would have been very uncertain and would have had to be litigated.
So, how do body cameras shake out for the defense?
It is a sort of a net liability to the defense, but the importance is to make sure that the recording is done in a way that approximates some kind of even-handedness and objectivity.
Okay, so nothing new about video, and defense attorneys are very interested in how the cops record their clients. But to really begin our descent from the summit of Mount Hype, let's consider that the most common use of body-worn camera video is nothing.
The single biggest block of videos that I'm aware of right now at most agencies for most officers is just sitting.
Because arrests are a small part of what police do, and most of the time no evidence is needed in traffic cases. That's Seth Stoughton.
I'm a law professor at the University of South Carolina School of Law, where I specialize in the regulation of policing.
So, how often do videos just sit there? Consider this.
For more than 8 months, police body cams at a Northwest Suburban department mistakenly recorded all the time, even as officers were taking bathroom breaks, involved in other non-essential police work.
It took these cops almost 9 months to realize that the cameras were always on. That doesn't happen if you're accessing the system all the time, to check on stuff. This is the kind of thing that Wasserman was concerned about. But even that's too technical to keep the attention of most people who just want a simple answer. When is my police department going to get these cameras? Instead, the question citizens and even police agencies should ask is, what do we want these cameras to do? And they haven't been asking it. How do I know? When most cops get cameras, they hate them. A year later, they love them. When civilians hear the cops have cameras, they love it. A year later, they hate it. That says that neither cops nor civilians understand what they're getting into. And when they realize it, they change their minds.
everyone is coming to the body camera question with a totally different take on what these tools are going to be used for. The community thinks, hey, you got this for officer accountability reasons, but all you're using it for is to prosecute people. I think that has the potential to be taken as a failure, a betrayal.
So if that's a failure, how do you even measure success? In 2016, Rachel Levinson Waldman of the Brennan Center and I wrote a USA Today article in which we warned that if agencies didn't declare what they wanted cameras to do, there was no way to know whether they were doing it. Next time on Quality Policing Extra.
We study technology's impact on civil rights and social justice issues.
Civil liberties groups believe that police have the advantage when it comes to body-worn cameras.
Having officers be able to watch footage before writing the reports just makes it much easier for them to push a false frame or a false narrative.
That's next time on Quality Policing Extra.